Today is the 22nd day of July 2026. Good morning and thank you for joining us on Business Focus. Coming to you live on Politics and Business TV, I am Fari Josephine, bringing you the stories shaping Nigeria's economy, from market movements and policy decisions to investment opportunities and corporate development. We break down what matters most to businesses and consumers. Thank you for joining us. And to the focus of the day, how Tinubu's government increased Nigeria public debt from 87.38 trillion naira to 149.39 trillion naira. Questions are once again being raised about Nigeria's rising debt profile and the economic impact of the fuel subsidy removal policy introduced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. When President Tinubu assumed office in May 2023, Nigeria's public debt stood at approximately 87.38 trillion naira. By March 31st, 2025, official figures showed the debt has risen by about 147.39 trillion naira, representing an increase of more than 62 trillion naira within less than 2 years. Despite the removal of fuel subsidy, which was expected to free up government revenue and improve fiscal sustainability, borrowing has continued. The president has also sought legislative approval for additional loans worth trillions of naira to fund various government projects and programs. Economic analysts note that borrowing itself is not unusual for developing economies. Governments across the world borrow to finance infrastructure, stimulate economic growth, and support critical sectors. However, concerns arise when citizens struggle to see the direct benefits of such borrowings in their daily lives. The central bank debate remains whether the gains from subsidy removal and increased government revenue has translated into improved living standards for Nigerians. Since the subsidy removal, the country has witnessed higher fuel prices, rising transportation costs, increased inflation, and growing pressures on household incomes. Many citizens continue to grapple with the high cost of food, housing, healthcare, and other essential services. Supporters of the government reforms argue that the policies were necessary to prevent fiscal collapse, attract investment, and create a more sustainable economy. They maintain that the benefits may take time to materialize. Critics, however, question why borrowing continues to rise despite the additional revenue generated from subsidy removal. They argue that Nigerians deserve greater transparency on how the funds are being utilized and whether the economic reforms are delivering measurable improvements in people's lives. As the debate continues, many Nigerians are asking a simple question: has the removal of fuel subsidy made the nation more prosperous, or has it placed a heavier burden on ordinary citizens? The answers may ultimately be found not in government statistics alone, but in the everyday realities of Nigerians across the country. And that will be it from the conversation for today. We go on a short break, and when we return, we see what's happening in the equity market. Please stay with us.
You have gotten the contract.
Have you checked for red flags?
Red flag?
What is a red flag?
A Allowing your company to fall into inactive status on the Corporate Affairs Commission portal is a red flag. Businesses marked inactive may come under watch for suspicious activities, money laundering, kidnapping, or terrorism financing.
Red flags. We have filed our annual returns with the CAC.
Ensure your company remains active. File your annual returns every year. Corporate Affairs Commission, keeping your business safe and compliant.
Welcome back from that short break, and thank you for staying with us. It is still Business Focus on Politics and Business TV. And now to the equity market. The Nigerian stock market opened trading today on a positive note, extending its upward momentum as investors continued to show confidence in the equity market. The NGX All-Share Index opened at 246,868.82 points, following a 0.28% gains in the previous trading session, representing an increase of approximately 684.87 points. Market capitalizations opened at approximately 159.22 trillion naira, reflecting additional value created as buying interest remained strong across key sectors of the market. And to the top gainers, leading the gainers charts today is Academy Press PLC, which advanced by plus 10%. NEM Insurance PLC also recorded a maximum daily gain of plus 10%, while VFD Group PLC appreciated by plus 9.98%. Also among the top performers is RT Briscoe PLC, which gains a plus 9.92%, and Chilarams PLC, which rose by plus 9.95%, reflecting sustained buying interest across selected equities as investors continued to position for opportunities in the Nigerian stock market. And to the top losers, on the top losers chart today, Sunu Assurance PLC led the decline, shedding a minus 10%. FTG Insurance PLC followed with a loss of minus 9.86%, while Triple G and Company PLC fell minus 9.77%. Associated Bus Company, also known as the ABC Transport, recorded a decline of minus 9.62%. And International Breweries PLC rounded out the list with a loss of minus 9.36%, as selling pressure in selected equities weighed on trading activities at the close of Nigerian exchange on the previous session. And on to the commodity markets, a 50-kilogram bag of locally produced rice is selling for between 57 to 63,000 naira, while imported rice is retailing for 72 to 87,000 naira. A 50-kilogram bag of beans is currently selling for 70 to 96,000 naira, and while a 25-liter container of vegetable oil is priced between 82 and 98,000 naira, while the same quantity of palm oil is selling for 62 to 74,000 naira. And in the downstream energy market, petrol is retailing for 1,002 to 1,350 naira to a liter. Diesel is selling for 1,005 to 1,650 to a liter, while kerosene is priced between 1,050 naira and 1,150 naira to a liter. And meanwhile, cooking gas or LPG is retailing for 1,600 to 1,800 to a kilogram, depending on location and supplier. Those prices are indicative and may vary across states and markets due to transportation costs, supply conditions, and local demands. And onto the currency market. At the official Nigerian foreign exchange market, the Naira exchanged at approximately 1,381 Naira 0.68 kobo to $1. Meanwhile, in the parallel market, also known as the black market, the Naira traded at around 1,408 Naira to the US dollar for buying and 1,413. And now we take a short break, and when we return, we go into the conversation of the day with my guest joining us via Zoom. Please Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You have gotten the contract.
Have you checked for red flags?
Red flag. What is a red flag? Allowing your company to fall into inactive status on the Corporate Affairs Commission portal is a red flag. Businesses marked inactive may come under watch for suspicious activities, money laundering, kidnapping, or terrorism financing.
Red flags. We have filed our annual returns with the CAC.
Ensure your company remains active. File your annual returns every year. Corporate Affairs Commission, keeping your business safe and compliant.
You have gotten the contract.
Have you checked for red flags?
Red flag. What is a red flag? Allowing your company to fall into inactive status on the Corporate Affairs Commission portal is a red flag. Businesses marked inactive may come under watch for suspicious activities, money laundering, kidnapping, or terrorism financing.
Red flags. We have filed our annual returns with the CAC.
Ensure your company remains active. File your annual returns every year. Corporate Affairs Commission, keeping your business safe and compliant.
Imagine having the power of television, movies, news, and entertainment.
Imagine say television, movies, news and entertainment dey your pocket just like that. Welcome to Free TV app. Now the #1 digital TV app for Nigeria. Free TV app get over 100 live, no decoder wahala, no plenty setup. Just download, open, begin the watch. To get the app, just search Free TV for Google Play Store or Free TV.English for Apple App Store, or scan the QR code for your screen. Registration will take you seconds. You fit use phone number, email, WhatsApp, Google or Apple ID. OTP even dey, so make your account stay safe. For inside the
All right. Thank you for staying with us. It is still the program Business Focus. Coming your coming your way, I beg your pardon, coming your way live from Politics and Business TV, Abuja. And of course, this is the segment where I bring my guest on, but unfortunately, my guests haven't joined yet. We hope he joins the conversation as it progresses. Of course, time waits for no one. So we progress on the program while he joins eventually, hopefully. And now the focus for today, just as I earlier on introduced, is the issue concerning the increase in Nigerians' public debt. Now, when this government assumed office in May 2023, the debt was set to be at 87.38 trillion naira. And within 3 years, it is already at 149.39 trillion naira. And that is with an increase of more than 62 trillion naira. Now, the whole debt, the accumulation of the debt, if you see the price at 87.38 trillion naira over the years. Now, let's remove the past 3 years in the calculation, and let's see how many years was it that Nigeria accumulated this total sum of 87 trillion naira plus. And now this government, within the periods of 2 to 3 years, have increased the loans, the debt by 62 trillion naira. Now, if you're going to do the math, calculating the period and timesing it by this amount, you're going to know how outrageous this 62 trillion naira increment is to the Nigerian debt. And just as it has been said, we keep borrowing the monies, and right now there is still another I don't know, it's rumor though that the government again is planning on borrowing more monies. Now the thing is not borrowing, just as some critics have said, every nation, every developing nation is prompt to borrowing. Yes, we agree, no one is disputing that fact, but at least every developing nation, you borrow, you have to, your people, the citizens, the people, the individuals in that country feel the effects of those borrowed monies, feel the impact of those borrowed monies. Now we keep borrowing those monies and we're not feeling the dividends, just that we keep crying, we're not feeling the dividends of democracy. Even though we are in a democracy regime, we're not feeling the dividends of it. Right now we're not feeling the dividends of those borrowed monies. It's not translating into anything physical. It's not. Why will we borrow in large amounts and it's not reflecting in our hospitals? It's not reflecting in our schools, in our educational systems. It's not reflecting in healthcare, in our roads, in infrastructure, name it. Every sector of the economy right now is suffering. It's not reflecting anywhere. And why is that so? You keep wondering where these monies are going. And day in, day out now, looting money, just as one of my colleagues has said in one of our programs here, looting money has become the order of the day. In fact, it's become so common that you wake up and see the news and you just wait for another news to counter that one. Because immediately another thing happens, we move on. Millions and trillions of naira being looted by some of these people, by our leaders. People were elected, people that were voted for into office to represent the people, right? But they don't. They end up looting public funds. And the government keep borrowing, keep allocating huge amount of monies to some of these organizations, and yet nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. Nothing to say, okay, this is what we've benefited so far when it comes to our term in office and all. And it's really worrisome because at the end of the day, it is you and I, the common man, that is left at the receiving end. It is you and I. If you think about how this whole thing works. Now, these people are in office after the period of 4 years or 8 years, as the case may be. They go out of office. Another people come in. It doesn't stop us from being indigenous of the country. No, you and I are still Nigerians. We're still in this country. We're going to still experience this hardship. But they are here, they do what they want to do, and they leave. All right. At this point, I think I am joined by my guest already. Good morning, Mr. Oluwale Joshua.
Good morning. Nice having me today.
Thank you for joining us this morning. So we are discussing how the Tinubu government increased Nigerians' public debt from 87.38 trillion naira to 149 trillion naira thereabout. How concerned should Nigerians be about the increase?
Well, Nigeria should be concerned about the increase, in the sense that we have a debt that is perpetually lived in as a debtor nation. That aside, if you look at the debt,
Mr. Oluwale, I don't know if you're still with me, sir.
actually
I think our
increased.
Okay.
While hello, are you with me?
Yes. At some point we lost where we're getting you, but now we can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so the naira value of the debt, when placed side by side with the dollar denominated figure, you realize that there is a kind of slight decrease while the naira value increased. That being established, we see the effect of foreign currency for the increase in exchange rate. I mean, in dollar terms, you see the effect playing out from that flank. While we look at that effect, we shouldn't lose sleep on the fact that whether it is dollar denominated or whether it is naira denominated, we are going to use our productivity in naira to pay for this particular debt. So it's neither here nor there. And when you compare the debt with the current national budget, 2026 budget, you see the fact that Nigerians need to be worried. Place side by side with the revenue ratio. That means what Nigeria generates as its inflows from sales of crude oil, from taxes and others. It's high, almost 87%. That speaks to the fact that Nigerians should be worried. But when we look at what these loans are applied for, I think there should be more scrutiny rather than being worried.
All right,
Because
Mr. Luales,
in the
please, sorry, permit me to come in. I don't know, we can't see you. If there is a way you could turn on your video, your camera, so we could see you, please. Is it possible? If are you in a place well lit that you can turn on your camera?
Oh yes.
All right.
Okay, let me work on that.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. You can go ahead, sir. While you are at that, we can hear you.
So when we compare the debt to equity, the debt to revenue ratio,
Yes, sir.
we should be worried about what we get as Nigerian national debt as of now. But what matters most when we have governments that have a good appetite for loan is that we should look at how we can ensure that what they apply this loan for are well scrutinized. Not only well scrutinized, but they are well checked so that these loans will not be misappropriated, and they will be monitored for good use. I heard Nigerians going to World Bank or sending their charge of petition to World Bank that the last loan should not be released.
Yes.
Because they suspect that it will be misapplied. So that means that Nigerians are waking up to what these loans are used for. You know, it's easier for loans to be and applied without being well appropriated for. And if it is not being well appropriated for in terms of budgeting, it may end up going for what or being applied for what the loans are not meant for. Let's look at what these loans are trying to achieve. This is trying to achieve the four legacy projects of this current administration. The last loan, which was the legacy loan, was meant to achieve what the legacy project was then, which is the financing of the real project. And you agree with me that there are many projects going on within the country that speak to the fact that the loans might have been judiciously used. That as it may, we've had this current administration telling us that revenue generation has improved through the tax collection and through the removal of some, but we are not in the corresponding effect of debt being reduced. That equally points to the fact that there may be a kind of mistrust between the government and the citizens. So we need a good feedback. We need a good accountability on what savings from flotation of currency has achieved, what savings from the revenue has achieved, and what is the enlarged tax net revenue generated from tax net has achieved. plus what this current increment in loan has achieved. If you look at the real-time increment, that is the non-currency effects of the increment, you see that the loans are not really high, like as it has depicted on the naira terms. That as it may, Nigeria should be worried, and equally our representative should be worried. What the current system which Nigeria runs is that citizens make protest while the National Assembly are meant to ask questions. So if we are worried about this, I think we should send a petition to National Assembly, send a petition to wherever our voices will be heard, and then let's see if the current administration will revert back to us or will respond to us.
All right.
That has been the Nigerians need to be worried.
All right. I don't know, sir. At this point, can you help us fix your camera, though, so we could be able to see you, sir?
I've been trying to do that, and it's not giving me the desired result.
Oh, all right. All right. Now we go back to the conversation. You know, the government removed the fuel subsidy partly to improve public finances. That was one of the reasons they gave us as to why there is a need for the fuel subsidies to be removed. Now, 3 years down the line, borrowing is still on, increasing rapidly despite the additional revenue generated. Why do you think we're still experiencing this? Is the revenue actually removed? I mean, the subsidy, is it actually removed?
When you talk about subsidy, events that is being questioned of late by the state of Adamawa and some interest group speaks to the fact that energy stabilization expenses or energy security expenses speaks to the fact that subsidy might have crept into our national but that doesn't mean that the subsidy is being directly paid by the government itself, but it's being paid from the revenue. Paid from the revenue in the fact that instead of earning 100 naira, we might have been earning 98 naira, meaning that to secure steady supply of energy in this period of US Iraq war, we need to ensure that our supply of crude may be in naira and be at a reduced price. So subsidy might have reduced our ability to earn revenue, but it has not increased our expenses. So it might have increased our ability to earn revenue. That as it may, it has reduced what we should earn as a nation. But the little effects shouldn't have been so magnanimous enough to have reduced to have led us to a borrowing country, a country that keeps borrowing. But looking at the legacy project of this current administration and the size of government expenditure, we will know that we need to borrow. Then if we are spending within the country and we are importing for domestic use, we need more more expenditure to finance or fund these imports. So that as it may, the balance of trade suggests and the foreign reserve suggests that our exports our export to import has been favorable towards the country. Speaking of the robust foreign reserve, that aside, we should equally watch our drive for expenditure. Our drive for expenditure is the fact that if we stay conservative, we may earn the revenue that we can fund the nation with. But if we stay bullish in terms of government expenditure, sustaining government lifestyle, sustaining government expenditure towards its citizens, and sustaining the legacy project which is being funded by through this same means of borrowing and the likes. We
I don't know if you're still with me, Mr. Oluwole.
Yes, I'm with you.
All right. So now,
Yes,
all right. So let's talk logically now. Do you think Nigeria is borrowing too much, or is the current debt level still manageable compared to the size of the economy? Did you get my question, sir?
can you take that again? No, not.
All right, let me take that again. I said logically, keeping the fact that we're not seeing the dividends, the benefits of the borrowing and all. Let's keep that aside. Let's talk about the fact that Nigeria is borrowing, right? What do you think? Do you feel Nigeria is borrowing a little bit too much, or is the level of the borrowing still is still manageable compared to the